Hi, so I feel like I want to say cut me some slack here because I'm lots of times I don't finish my sentences. I'm here in my room, but lots of psychics get a lot of mediums. You're getting medium messages. Psychics, yeah, psychics get a lot of messages. Some from here and some from the outer realm. So cut me some slack. So anyways, I'm talking a little bit about Nancy Guthrie. Somebody out there promised, almost swore that that there was going to be a epic reveal today regarding the DNA on the gloves of the perpetrator in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. Now, for those that do follow my channel, I do ramble a lot. I even say it at the beginning of my video, this isn't going to make sense. And it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense to me, okay? Now, let me just tell you a little bit of the dream that I had this morning because it had something to do with a lawyer that I used to work for. She is in my deck of cards. And because I did work in the criminal field. Now, this dream has two meanings to it because it was kind of a family law lawyer / criminal law. For those that do know anything about the criminal law system, when you go to court, you take the date of the next court appearance, which is called to be spoken to. You write it on the file and then you go back and put it in the lawyer's diary. So this whole case, this is just my opinion, can be circling around a family member or somebody that was in family law, but circle back, could be politics as well, and then circle back. And at this point, I'm almost tempted to say that it's possibly somebody in the law profession. Almost somebody, wouldn't surprise me at this point if this was somebody in law enforcement that did this to Nancy. I just have to say that maybe this is a disgruntled former law enforcement employee. Just 1 second, I'm going to try to not sneeze. I did pick up a little bit of a virus. I'm surprised. But anyways, so round the clock, the investigators are working to solve this, hopefully. Now, I'm wrong about a lot of things. And you know, I was listening to some commentary last night, and this is where I would have to come out and say how dumb are the searches or the searchers, because there was somebody that the FBI put out a statement that a lot of those gloves that were left behind really were from law enforcement, and those were, I think there was, probably too many to count, but it's just really ridiculous that they're searching for an elderly woman and they're leaving their gloves littered behind. I just can't comprehend that. And then that particular law enforcement, the FBI puts that in a statement that the gloves that were picked up, that were left by the searchers, were basically the gloves that were left by the searchers. And then they picked up one that, the black one, seems to have DNA in it. Okay, here's the church, there's the steeple, open the doors, and there's the people, because we see Samantha Guthrie again out on her social media posting about basically deliver us from evil, and it's never too late. Well, I have a different stance on this because I'd be very surprised if this person surfaces, because we're dealing with a psychopath here. Psychopath absolutely revels in what he or she, well, in this instance, it's a guy, what he did to her mother. Could be somebody that crossed her path, could be somebody in law enforcement. I'm at the point where, and I'm like anybody else, Monday quarterback. It is Family Day today in Canada. Happy Family Day today. Everybody's just throwing anything at the wall to see what stinks. Yeah, because to see what sticks and stinks, because this stinks. This whole thing stinks. It's way too long. They have the cream of the crop of the investigators out there, and they somehow can't seem to solve it. But we'll see what happens today. Every day above ground is a good day. So welcome here. tiny bubbles. I do love Elvis Presley. And that's from Dawn Ho. I wonder if that card's going to come up. Yeah, this is the Holy Roller card. Don't get paranoid here if I talk about adoptions, but that is the Holy Roller card. You know, I said it before, there's a lot of sanctimonious church lady, church people. Nothing wrong with going to church, and but that is the dark side, because Savannah Guthrie is meeting the dark side. And I'd be very, very surprised if this person does turn himself in. So, Holy Roller, practice what you preach. You know, maybe there's bets on this. I bet today's the day. I bet today's the day. Well, she was like a Nancy Grace. She was full of grace. Okay, you know, I did realize something last night that made me feel very, very comfortable, because it kind of clicked, because I don't like thinking of what happened to Nancy Guthrie at night. And one of the investigators came out and just summed it all up. And he said that the majority of robberies are crimes of this case. Most of the robberies are done at night in commercial buildings. These types of burglaries, robberies in a private residential area, the majority of them are done during the day. Makes sense to me, because we've had some wicked people come around here and steal things during the day. Like, it would make sense to me, because we have lots of passerbys that just come and check the door handles here on the vehicles. They don't come up to the house, but they will steal stuff during the day. So that's kind of like when the lights went on for me. And don't forget to keep your porch lights on. So that's the Holy Roller card, practice what you preach. That is also the residential neighborhood that I live in. And is that the family law card? Well, that's the school teacher card that's the school teacher card as well. And that's the bank robber card, just on a personal level. So I'm taking one from the Deranger deck. Now, I wonder how this card is going to play out today, because this reminds me a little bit of the Spencer Tepe case, because this is the oral health card. That's regarding Dr. McKee. So I have a couple of crime ideas in my head, or crime channels that I do watch, but it wouldn't surprise me if this was a little bit, there's maybe some familiarity to this. Gang stalking as well. And maybe somebody knew somebody here. Does that even make sense? So welcome. And I watched a really uninteresting YouTuber out there. All her whole channel is to just watch you clean her house. So I don't feel so bad, because I got knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna get me down. But that is the oral health toothbrush dentist card. Oh, I love this card. Okay, this is my blue dog. You wouldn't know what blue dog meant, but that's my Zoe. Zoe is in spirit. This is my cage card, KJ. So let's see what else comes out here, because we both do enjoy a lot of things together. Stranger danger, though, you know, like I said from the early on, maybe it was somebody in law enforcement that was ticked off and is playing a game here. Could be somebody like an ex of somebody here. Okay, so that's the shadow in the background. Sometimes when they start uncovering people's backgrounds, that's the Streisand effect. Everything gets unveiled. Sir Rudy. This is a work card, okay? That one, it could be something to do with politics here as well. That's the keeping copious notes on you. Narcissists do kind of put you on a performance improvement plan. And it's kind of like follow the leader here. Sometimes I'm getting messages about the mindset of the psychopath that did this to Nancy Guthrie, because you have to be pretty bold to do that, to put bootstraps on or whatever, and do that to Nancy Guthrie. You have to be, you're really from, you're just the bottom of the barrel here. And that's also my heary, because it's just all over the news today. It's captivated everybody. Well, it had certainly me. And maybe it is Karma Day today. This is the Cracker Barrel Club. Something stinks, I already said it. This could be somebody, this could be political, Republicans against the Democrats. But something really went awry here. And if they don't do a press conference pretty soon, I could see possibly a lot of people leaving the force. You know, a lot of those, this is compared to, I think I said it, succession training. Maybe they didn't have enough leaders of the pack here, maybe still a little bit young. I still am confused about those points of interest, or those gloves littered all over the crime scene, or all over the place that they're looking at. So that's a little bit of a Cracker Barrel Club here. And this is the gun that this, I have to say it, Goofus had in that little toy. Maybe it was a toy gun at this point, but in that little kind of like holster in front of him. Okay, flipping off the electricity. Maybe flip, whoa. Maybe flipping off law enforcement. Maybe, you don't know. We don't know. We don't have enough stuff here. Okay, so I'm taking one for my guardian angel deck, because Savannah Guthrie and her family are going to, you know, they're meeting the dark side of the world. And these characters are ruthless. She might need some spiritual guidance here. Okay, and because they're ruthless. This is the unalive card here. She's a wonderful person out there in the United States. And I'm only going to give you her first name. Her first name is Stephanie, and she's just a wonderful, she's kind of like a kindred spirit. So, okay, so let's see what else comes out here. And what was the lyric to? I still have that lyric from the band Boston, which is, babe, tomorrow's so far away. If you want to be free, are you ready for me? I can't really get the lyrics specifically. But if this person, this is the, oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. Okay? So those are busybodies out there. One particular, I'm just really perplexed as to why the Sheriff Nanos would even sit down and have these impromptu interviews with some really, really immature podcasters or YouTubers, and then present it to the world as if it's in stone. He has nothing concrete to say yet. That is also the Ashley Banfield YouTuber out there. I've already labeled this It's almost like a scene from Hawaii Five-0, or it's the biggest whodunit today. We're 15 days in. It still is the biggest whodunit. And they have all these intellectual people, some retired, some rehired. And that's the school teacher. I don't know if there's a school teacher. That could have been what happened here in Tumbler Ridge. But there's just, all narcissists leave a trail of destruction. And this could be what Annie is facing, all the comments made about her and Tomas. Every single person in that family is really being dragged through the mud here. And it could be because the sheriff and the FBI haven't told too many people yet, or really gotten to the guts of this. Okay, so let's see what comes out here. Maybe I shouldn't say everything that pops in my head because it just makes people think that I'm unhinged, but you can think whatever you want, okay? Because my life is not boring whatsoever. And I don't have YouTube attached to my rear end waiting for the next big break to come out. Because what happened to her in her personal life can easily be happening to many other people, just on a smaller scale. Because this person is the monster behind the mask. This is exactly what Nancy Guthrie was staring at. Okay, this person is very unforgiving. And what narcissism does is it tugs on your heartstrings. It throws your logic out the window, and your emotions, rightfully so, are out of whack. Okay, this is desperately seeking Nancy because Savannah Guthrie is going to face the reality of really how some people on this planet, there is no, it could be half and half, but there is no, that's a coffee cream, but there is no, sometimes we don't have the answers to why some people have to suffer like that. But this is an introduction to the dark night of the soul, because this one will rip your family apart, will rip everything apart. It's almost like Ripley's Believe It or Not, but it's almost like Savannah Guthrie is, like I said, this is Ripley's Believe It or Not. Because believe it or not, there are inhumane humans on this planet that have absolutely no problem doing what they do. And they compartmentalize, they can pick up and move on as if it was nothing. That's how narcissism works. Okay, and there's a lot of conspiracies about this. This reminds me of the conspiracy card. But until and unless they make an arrest, if the glove, what is that? If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. I can't remember what that guy said. Because she's going to reach out to the Archangel Sandalphon. Those are your archangels. They'll take your prayers to heaven. So, mediums are different. All mediums are psychic. Don't come here and call me belligerent or call me a cuckoo bird. You can do whatever you want, you know, because for those that are coming to terms with having psychic ability, you're not going crazy, okay? Because you're going to hear things, you're going to see things, and just stick to your guns, as they say, because we all come in different, all psychics and mediums come with different little packages of, I have mine come through entertainment and lyrics. Okay, so let's take one more, and like I said, it is Canada Day for us. Everything I do is enjoy. And I can ruffle the feathers of some narcissists out there, of narcissism, okay? Because this, oh, I love my little birdies are back. This is the beggar card. You don't want this person in your life as well. This is really the scope of narcissism, because it's a love bombing. Somebody love bombs somebody out here. But how do I explain this? This is it's an Italian out here, but that has nothing to do. That always felt like that was what Nancy possibly was facing when that intruder came in. You know, they don't know if she was alive before she left the house, most likely begging for her life. If she was alive, right? We don't know enough yet. That could also be the chief of police out there begging for more information. Lots of discontentment around this case. It's almost like a Toys R Us with that gun. I'd be embarrassed. You'd be embarrassed to show yourself on camera like that. Like Young Guns. There's a movie about that. Okay, so this is the chaos and confusion. We know a lot of detectives keep secrets. Maybe some are holding some secrets too tight. That's the competition, alleged competition between the FBI and the TBI, I guess, and the local law enforcement, because Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers has still been missing since February 19th. It's almost 2 years. It's going on 2 years. I got his date of disappearance wrong the other day. But there's always something to do with jealousy, competitiveness regarding what happened to Nancy Guthrie. So I saw the signs. I saw the signs. I saw the signs. Okay, so thanks for being here. We're keeping our fingers crossed as well on this side of Canada, hoping for maybe a peace offering here. Maybe we will come to the conclusion of this case, but hopefully they will find some DNA results. Maybe they have to go to genealogy. Who knows? And I've said it so many times. This is my Aloha card. Always, my videos are all done for enjoyment, and that's a beautiful place to be. Hopefully Nancy Guthrie can get to that place as well. Solitude. You know, when the dust settles, the dust has to settle. You know, spirit doesn't work. Spirit works through people, and if there's chaos and confusion, then sometimes you have to wait for the dust to settle in order for karma to work her magic. So have a wonderful day. It's all done. Enjoy.